Recently, Dr. Rurick's chemistry class has been keeping busy in the lab. In this lab, the class was trying to experimentally determine the charge per electron, as done in the famous Millikan's oil drop experiment. However, in this lab, the students used some different techniques involving electric current flow through zinc electrodes in order to do their calculation. Thursday night marked the start of the 22nd annual Green City Junior High basketball tournament, and the Brashear Lady Tigers came ready to play. Things started off slowly, with both teams applying a lot of defensive pressure and Brashear holding a 6-4 lead after one quarter. The Lady Tigers broke the game open in the second quarter, taking a 23-8 lead into halftime. Brashear led 31-14 after three quarters before Green City closed the gap a little in the fourth. Brashear picked up the win by a final score of 38-24. Macy Rogers had 15, Shelby Rogers had 14, Shelby Salter added 5 points, and Katie Smith and Sydney Slavin had 2 points each. The Brashear boys didn't fare as well against Green City, who jumped out to an 18-0 lead after one period and a 22-3 lead at halftime. The Tigers finally got a few things sorted out after the half, scoring the first 6 points of the third quarter. However, Green City still maintained a 33-16 lead after three quarters. Green City found the range again in the fourth quarter, downing Brashear by a score of 48-18. Cody Snelling had 5 points, Adam Songer and Taryn Treasure added 4 each, Nick Thomas had 3, and Jay Scudder scored 2 points. Friday night was the final rounds of the Green City Junior High basketball tournament. In the boys' third place game, Brashear played Novinger. Brashear jumped out to a 5-1 lead after the first quarter and led 11-8 at halftime. Novinger came storming back in the second half, scoring 16 points in the third frame to lead 24-17 on their way to a 33-23 win. For Brashear, Cody Snelling had 11 points, Nick Thomas and Taryn Treasure had 4 each, and Hayden Hausman and Matt McLeod each scored 2 points. The junior high girls faced Novinger in the title game. Novinger jumped out to a 13-4 first quarter lead and held a 17-11 lead at halftime. Brashear then used a 16-point third quarter to take the lead 27-23 and held off Novinger in the fourth to get the win 36-29. Brashear was paced by Shelby Rogers with 15 points, Macy Rogers had 10, Kristen Love and Sydney Slavin had 4 points each, Shelby Salter had 2, and Shandy March had 1 point. Brashear visited Atlanta Monday night for A and B junior high basketball action. To start the evening, the boys' B teams started with a two-quarter game. Brashear led 6-4 after the first quarter and won the game 12-6. For Brashear, Joseph Woods had 8, and Zach Reeves and Jay Scudder had 2 points each. The girls' game was all Brashear, with the Lady Tigers leading at the quarter breaks by scores of 15-2, 31-4, 41-6, and finishing at 43-10. Macy Rogers led Brashear with 12, Sydney Slavin had 10, Shelby Rogers scored 7, Katie Smith and Shelby Salter had 4 each, and Miranda Creason, Kristen Love, and Abigail Wheeler had 2 points each. In the boys' A game, Atlanta jumped out to a 10-0 lead in the first and went into halftime leading 19-6. The Hornets extended their lead to 31-8 after 3 periods and took the game by a score of 42-10. Cody Snelling had 6 points for Brashear, and Hayden Hausman and Matt McLeod had 2 points each. On Tuesday night, Brashear was on the road again at La Plata. The girls' B squads kicked off the evening's action with a two-quarter contest. Brashear held a 5-4 lead after one quarter, but La Plata came back to get the win by a score of 8-6. For Brashear, Shelby Salter had 3, Shandy March had 2, and Katie Smith scored 1 point. In the two-quarter boys' B game, La Plata led 4-3 after the first quarter, but Brashear came back to get the win 13-8. Brashear was led by Austin Alexander with 4 points, Jay Scudder had 3 points, and Nick Bradshaw, Hayden Hausman, and Dylan Redding had 2 points each. Brashear led the whole way in the girls' A game, going up 16-8 after one quarter, 27-16 at half, 35-24 after three quarters, and picking up the win 45-31. Shelby Rogers scored 17 for Brashear, Sydney Slavin had 8, Macy Rogers and Shelby Salter had 6 points each, and Katie Smith, Shandy March, Kristen Love, and Abigail Wheeler each scored 2 points. The boys' A game proved to be no contest. After Brashear scored the first 2 points of the game on the tip-off, La Plata reeled off 28 unanswered points, going up 26-2 at the end of the first quarter and 41-5 at halftime. Brashear had their best offensive quarter in the third, but still trailed 50-11 and lost the game by a score of 56-15. Adam Songer had 5 points. Dylan Redding, Hayden Hausman, Matt McLeod, Nick Thomas, and Joe Clarkson had 2 points each.